Nigeria mumpotombo. If I naku Nigeria mumpotombo. If I naku Nigeria mumpotombo. If I naku ndilo mumpotombo. Ebon, woto woto. Ebon, woto woto. Ebon, woto woto. Ebon, woto woto. Mbajo my freedom, I get to my cow. 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 Nigerian government is evil. It's evil. Nigerian government is a killer. Yes, it's killer. Nigerian government is a murderer. Sure, they are murderers. Monkey carry money, money. Python swallow money, money. What you no go hear? What you no go hear now? Everybody quiet, quiet. All the youths are quiet, quiet. Musicians are quiet, quiet. Nollywood are quiet, quiet. Biafra government take me gun. Biafra government take me gun. Simon take me gun. Akumba walobo, akum. Onya neku nweli fone me. Obato pie. New dimension, yes. Multi-dimensional approach, yes sir. Ije, Ebon, yes sir. Ebon, woto woto. Ebon, woto woto. Ebon, woto woto. Mbajo my freedom, I get to my cow. 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 For many years you've been killing us. You've been killing us. Many years you've been slaving us. You've been slaving us. For broad daylight you killed us. You killed us. Fuaba, Obigo, Okuama, Fabakeleke, Mbo, Enugu, Ehamufu. Thank you, my mama. Thank you, my papa. Thank you, my siblings. For Bayesa, don't they kill us? Don't leave us on fire. Yes. I can make one day a little bit. You can't kill us again and go free. At this time, I'm not opportunity to watch. Equal people have attacked us. Different spirit, they go. You the push us. You go push you. You go fight us. You go fight you. At the end the Biafra got to lay down. Ebon, woto woto. Ebon, woto woto. Ebon, woto woto. Mbajo my freedom, I get to my cow. 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 Nigeria government, let Biafra go. Biafra never go. Biafra never go. One day Biafra to go down. Biafra to go down. If you love Biafra, or you be a Biafra, raise your hand in the air. The let you go to Biafra. Me phone them man. Yes. Anya nabagon. Biafra nabagon. Biafra to go down. I'm watch a bagon. Biafra da bagon. Biafra na bagon. I'm watch a go. Biafra to go down. Yes, sir. Salute.
One of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Yesterday, the Nigerian army had come out to say that the senior officers that were involved in this case are innocent and that you are suffering from mental issues or you're mentally unstable. But what is your own side of the story?
Thank you very much for this great privilege, this great opportunity. What really happened yesterday was just a cook-up story, just a planned work. Myself and Abu Karim, we are in this, Abu Karim, we are in the same unit. He was my CO.
What unit is this?
NACMC Ojo, Nigerian Army Cantonment Medical Center Ojo, where he was my CO. Colonel Abu Karim asked me to sleep with him at Igosto Hotel at about 700 hours p.m. He asked me to sleep with him, which I refused.
What day was this?
On Sunday. On 27th February 2022. So he called me to sleep with him, which I was very, very surprised. And army is against it. In the army, it's called frontalization. It's a big offense in the army, which I refuse to sleep with him because he's my superior. Ever since then, Colonel Abu Karim will inject me with Lacatine injection, put me inside casket, popularly called body bag in the army. He will harass me, rape me, and at the end of the day, he will throw me inside psychiatric hospital to make it look as if what he is saying is true.
So, hold on. Where does this rape happen and putting you in a body bag? When did all of this happen? And give me more details about it.
This whole thing happened in our unit, Cantonment Medical Center, Ojo there. I have witnessed.
Was this in his office? Or
inside his office. Inside the office, with uniform. Most times he will instruct soldiers to pin me down while they give me Lacatine injection. Most times he will point gun at me. Most times he will handcuff me and harass me sexually and still take a picture of me and send to some senior officer to make it look as if I am actually mad. Which I tried my best to seek for redress. Sorry, I sought for redress. I went to legal service. I went to military police to report him.
Was this after the first time or it had happened several times?
Several times. He come to my house, sent soldiers to my house to harass me. Most times he will inject me inside his office, rape me. After raping me, he will still take video of me and send it to General IBIBIO to make it look as if, because at that time I was already complaining, seeking for intervention, begging some senior officers, people like General C.G. Musa, the current chief of defense staff. I told so many officers, I seek for redress, but nothing was done because he's my senior. Nobody was ready to give me a listening ear. So I exhausted all the procedures. I sought for redress using Section 179 of the Armed Forces, and nothing was done. Nobody believed me. After injecting me, he would strip me naked and throw me inside psychiatric hospital. And there, General Ibishelebo, Colonel Ogo will come there, they will be snapping me. They took picture of me, harassed me. Most times he denied me access to military course just because I refused to sleep with him. He denied me pass. I could not even see my family for years. He denied me pass. He denied me so many things in the army, that my welfare in the army. So after exhausting, going to legal service to complain, and nothing was done, going to military police to report, nothing was done because he's my superior. I'm his subordinate. I wrote a redress, and nothing was done. So I went to social media to complain on the 9th of January 2024, and the Minister of Women Affairs intervened, and the Nigerian Army promised Nigerians that they are going to carry they are going to carry out an investigation, which they did. So during the investigation, they took me to National Hospital. They took me to LDLA. At first, they took me to LDLA just to check to know if I abused substance, and they took me to National Hospital for medical evaluation, and the result turned out to be negative. And the Minister of Women Affairs requested me to write a voluntary letter, which I did. I submitted my voluntary letter to the Minister of Women Affairs, and she forwarded it to the Chief of Army Staff, and the Chief of Army Staff approved it.
So what you're telling me now is that the army did not on its own discharge you?
No. I wrote a discharge that I lost interest because of the inhuman treatment they did to me.
The army also accused you of being mentally unstable. Are you mentally unstable?
No. I'm perfectly okay. It was just a cook-up story. Because during the course of that investigation, the Nigerian Army took me to National Hospital for medical evaluation, which turned out to be negative. That everything connected carrying just an allegation against me.
Did you see the result that was sent to the Chief of Army Staff?
Yes. As a patient, I have every right to ask my doctor what, and they told me that they could not diagnose me. Okay. They couldn't diagnose me.
Okay.
So thereafter, the army called me that they've approved my discharge. Unknown to me that I wasn't aware. It was a cook-up story. Like the Chief of Army Staff called me on his own, and he told me that I should not worry, that I should just cooperate with them, that they are going to sort me and they are going to pay me off. So in the army, I served 5 years with the army. I only served 5 years, and I'm not eligible for pension because they boarded me out. That is where I was qualified for pension. And before one can be boarded out of the army, there are procedures. They will call you for interview. They will call a psychiatrist to check your mental state. There will be units RSM. There will be people will be there. There will be a board set up because of as in a BOI set up because of that shoulder, to know if the shoulder is still fit to continue with the job. In my own case, nothing like that. So they did that to compensate me because of what Abdulkarim did to me.
So before you go forward, why did you on your own decide to leave the army?
I know my life was at risk, and the job, I lost interest in the job because there is a lot of malice in the job. Your juniors, younger ones they don't give their younger ones to speak. You don't have every right to speak. Even when your junior is misbehaving your senior is misbehaving to you, they don't listen to their subordinates. So what they listen to me at that time, they will find that meanwhile during their investigation, they saw everything. I submitted my evidence to them, and my eyewitness were there, and they know that what Abdulkarim did to me is very, very wrong. So I'm very, very surprised that they still come online and cook up a story just to make me look as if I'm a man, that is just to tell the whole wide world that I'm a mad person. I'm not a mad person. The investigation, the medical report that was during the medical evaluation that was carried out in National Hospital turned out negative. They could not diagnose me.
Okay, so you said you decided on your own to leave the army
Yes.
because of the inhumane treatment.
Yes.
What reason did you give them? What was the reason you gave as why you were leaving the army?
There was no progression because there was somebody in Abdul Karim who was everywhere, my senior, a colonel. I'm a private soldier. I applied for courses. I applied for school. Imagine somebody raping me inside the office and nothing is being done, putting me inside caskets. It's called body bag. They normally use it in Northeast to bury soldiers who died during war. So he put me inside caskets. Imagine me writing sick for redress. Nobody listened to me. Including the chief of defense staff could not listen to me. They did not believe what I was telling them, even with my evidence.
So earlier on, you told me that the Minister of Women Affairs advised you to leave on
Yes.
medical grounds, and then you
No, not on medical ground.
Okay.
On normal discharge.
Okay.
That I lost interest.
Okay. So how did army arrive at you being mentally unstable?
That I don't even know. Because before one can be boarded out, they will call, that I said they will set up a board. This board, there will be a doctor, a medical doctor. That is how it's been done in the army. They will call a medical doctor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, psychiatrist. Some of these medical people will be there, medical team will be there, the units, RSM, the CO. They will now invite the soldier to know if this soldier is still fit to continue with the job. Probably they will throw questions. So they will set up a board, a BOI, nothing like that. They never called me for any board. They never interviewed. I wasn't aware about the whole thing. It was just a cook-up, just to, you know. I was very surprised yesterday. I saw, we see my news flying up and down that the army discharged me. Army never discharged me. It was the Minister of Women Affairs that requested me to leave the army, which I wrote a handwritten letter. What do they call it? Voluntary discharge. I wrote a letter that I'm not interested, that I've lost interest in the job. So there was nothing like discharge anywhere. They never discharged me from the army.
Okay.
It was just a frame-up. They just gang up against me for no just reason, trying to cover up for Biafra.
Now, you also told me that there was the part where you talked about the issue of the health certificate and that your father was saying they were going to use that against you. Can you? Yes.
When after their investigation, so they ROT'd me back to my unit where I serve. So where they later called me that I'd be discharged from the army. Like because I wrote a handwritten discharge that I'm not interested again. So I wasn't aware it was even board, because before they would board me out, I must be there. There must be an interview between me and those people boarding me out. So I'm not aware. So it was when I went, they called me from national pension board that I should come for pension. I was very, very surprised that I'm not eligible for pension. Why are they calling me for pension? So when I got there, and I saw that they gave me 50% disability, that I'm not mentally stable. I asked question. I told them I'm not going to sign this form because they are going to use it against me. And immediately they gave me the certificate and I sent it to my dad, to the Minister of Women Affairs. My dad said they will use it against me. And true, they used it against me yesterday. I'm telling the whole wide world that I was discharged from the army. I was not discharged. I seek.
You voluntarily asked?
I voluntarily asked them to discharge me, that I lost interest because of the inhuman treatment, because they don't listen to their subordinates. The oppression is too much in the army, man.
Are you scared for your life?
So Major General Onyema is after my life. Sending people to unalive me. So the army and every year they are looking for a way to kill me. I actually.
How did you know this?
I came to Abuja a few weeks ago to the Human Rights Brekete office to seek for justice for what Abdulkarim did and what the army did to me. At the end of the day, Major General Onyema instructed the Brekete to stay clear from the case. So that's how the whole issue started. So that's what triggered this whole thing. That's how they come online to make it look as if I'm not mentally stable, just to shut me up.
Okay. Have any lawyer or any human rights organization shown interest in your case?
Yesterday, some lawyers reached out to me and they told me that they were interested in the case. So I will see how to get or to see them. I haven't seen them, so they just told me that they are interested. I should call them and tell them what happened. We probably will meet and explain how the whole thing happens.
Okay, so now you're saying that what Army is saying, or what they said yesterday, is not true. So what do you want?
I want justice. I want justice. Before coming online to lay an allegation on senior officers, I have evidence to back whatever I'm saying up, and which I submitted my evidence to them, witness to them. I made the investigation, and they find out that all what I said was truth. So coming outside yesterday, telling the whole world that I am mad, it's a lie. They should bring out my medical report. The National Hospital is here. They did medical evaluation, and they could not even diagnose me. So I don't have any mental record. So I don't know where the whole thing come from. It was just a plan work. I don't know.
Okay, so after the first time that this incident happened, did you take it to, did you report it, the very first time that he tried to rape you or that he tried to harass you?
Yes, I reported.
Because you said that it happened several times.
Several times. In my call, in the Nigerian Army Medical Corps, the Colonel Brukarin, and they are the most senior officers in the medical corps, though he lost promotion. So his mate are brigadier generals. They are the most senior officers in medical corps. But I don't know, he has connection, and their classmates are all the people holding appointment in the medical corps. So if I report to this person, Colonel Brukarin will look for a way to.
Okay, so your final word on this incident?
I want Nigerians to intervene, and I need an open investigation. I need justice. That is all I want.
Good evening, Biafran people and lovers of freedom here, and salutations to the people of Eritrea, and to one who are hell bent on destroying the lives of the indigenous people. We should ask is, can you be asking for where justice does not prevail? Justice in Nigeria. So for the lady to be asked, she's asking for the right thing from place, and that you cannot get. It is not obtainable. I salute all of you, and I bring you warm greetings. The Biafran government has released a press memo in solidarity with the Ambazonian people. The news of the arrest of the Ambazonian leader, Ayaba. Biafra stands with Ambazonia. With the Ambazonians remains intact and is irrevocable as far as Biafra is concerned and freedom is concerned. We will fight rooftop by rooftop to the end of time. As far as this Biafra freedom
of our two peoples, we hereby commit to work together now and in the future for the realization of the dreams of our people, and further pledge that this commitment will always be passed on to our next generation. We today solemnly agreeing that the defense of Biafra and Amazonia unity of our two peoples. We hereby commit to work together now and in the future for the realization of the dreams of our people, and further pledge that this commitment will always be passed on to our next generation. We today solemnly agreeing that the defense of Biafra and Amazonia unity of our two peoples. We hereby commit to work together now and in the future for the realization of the dreams of our people, and further pledge that this commitment will always be passed on to our next generation.
The Biafran government, the Biafran people, Kenyans, and we continue to stand with them forever. Yes, you listen to a video, an army personnel of one Nigeria. Mind you, the Nigerian terrorist government, their own army personnel. 2 weeks after the Biafran government's defense force, the Nigerian army personnel, who happens to be, and then we sent a goodwill message back to by sending him back to their people, and there he advised for them to stop killing the Biafran people, for them to stop coming to what they are looking for is what is for the best interest of everyone in one Nigeria. The Nigerian terrorist government do, they came out openly to say that he is not an active military personnel, that he was retired long ago. Surrenders and blackmails that you will be seeing from a terrorist in Nigeria. That is the same way every personnel, especially in the army or Air Force or Navy or police of one Nigeria, goes through on daily. When a female subordinate is gang raped, violated of her right, then she tends to speak up. They don't want her to speak up. That is what you see. And they even went to the that she is mentally disordered. So you should ask the Nigerian terrorist guys recruit mentally disordered personnel. Do you deploy mentally disordered personnel to go for peacekeeping and tranquility, to maintain peace, and you deploy mentally disordered people to go into the society, to go and pull? So you employ and you recruit mentally disordered people as in your contraption called Nigeria. And to the superior, this lady, why was this lady not mentally disordered when you violated her, you raped her severally, you use her at impulse, as at that time she was not mentally. Whenever you want to use her, you use her. It's very easy that a superior officer will say that you have come adrift. We use in the military. A subordinate has come adrift, even when you what is very common in the military. A superior muster you in his cabin or in his mess, and then tell that you have committed an offense, committed a crime, which inadvertently. And because you are a subordinate, you don't have to divulgate anything that he says. You don't have the right to argue anything that even when a military police or provost is called down to come to the police or provost later, the provost does not have power over who is Tama 3 or Tama 4 above a provost Tama 2. And if it's to a military police or provost that is in Tama same rank with the superior that has done you this evil, he will not still listen to you. They are all in the same shoes together. They are in pari passu. The two officers will convince themselves and understand themselves, and then they will bury. This is what many of you faces in the military on daily basis. So this voice, like she said. So all this time that they gang raped you, did all manner of things to you, you were not mentally disordered to them. That they did on your body, those things were not mentally disordered to them. You said enough is enough. Not until you said to your slave masters that enough is enough again. That you know you're right, that no matter what happens, you're ready to die by the sword. As at that very time, you now become mentally disordered. As at that very time, they now pose you as a threat. But since you their ways, because of fear of any kind, and because of the fact anything, you'll be dismissed from the academy or from the, you will swallow all the shit. Because it's the same way that others have gone through the same process. So you must try to persevere till you finish your training and then you graduate out. Many subordinates decide to do what? To just disenroll themselves without somebody or telling them. You disenroll yourself. If she was not granted on leave when she was to go on pass, how does she even? You see, for those of you that are jubilating and jumping in Nigeria or the armed forces, these are the things that are going on with some of them, and they know it, and they don't want to continue to bear the crown of Nigeria Army personnel. In fact, we've been there, we've been out, and we understand the show. It's all about come out, you wear this uniform and walk around as a military personnel, police, Navy, Army. You see, then you enter the town. Everywhere you go, you wear the uniform. Everybody will do what you say. Because now, Nigerian terrorists understand that there is nothing in uniform representing one Nigeria, as they call it, is useful, and it is what is now. Because now we are at war with the terrorists. So anything wearing uniform, Biafra land, you are on your own. It means or your. So I salute Biafran people, and I bring you warm greetings. Fans should understand that their leader arrested for questioning or detained in Norway is a part the leader should be ready to face. It is an opportunity for the to present the cause of national community in a larger scale, because people who don't know about your plight and your problems, your news, they will continue to misunderstand you. Like we say, what we do do in life, what Ojukwu and his men did for Biafra echoes in history, and what Kaduna Nzoku and his men did echoes in history till today for free. What if Mbakuans, it still echoes till today. Nigeria needed to build a port for the Biafran people or for the Biafran region. Every Biafran will be part and parcel of us having our own airport. Here you can see the airport. As at then, it was hot cake. So what Nigeria will not want you to do and become, you can. So the Amazonians, this is opportunity for the world to hear in a different scale. You know, Mazinam got arrested, tortured in 2015, and they went to kill him in his house. God used many people to wix him out. And then, Operation, and then they see kidnapped Mazinam Kanu when he went for his marriage. Women urinated on him, they spat on him, they beat him all over and to stop Biafra, but that did not stop him from talking and saying and fighting. Now, Mazinam Kanu is in detention. They went to happen, and the people that collaborated to his kidnapping are his most closest and his most trusted. And today, we hear that the Amazonian Biafra was arrested for questioning in Norway, his country of residence. Phenomenon. The Prime Minister of the indigenous people of Biafra was also taken in for questioning. Many of you were celebrating. Oh, they have arrested him. They will not release him. He will come and Biafra will not have a way again. And many of you now that were little liver stomach ulcer, your IBP was going very high. You don't know your stand, because if you know your stand, you will understand that there are countries is democracy and what is human right and self-determination, because they wouldn't have betrayed their posterity. That is why today there's that one can speak of. So when you have a government, self-determination, human right, self-defense, and to defend your own territory against the oppressor, you will understand what you're fighting for. It is time for the atrocities of the Cameroonian terrorists exposed and brought to the table to the international communities, for them to understand, to the Amazonian indigenous people for years. Same thing that they have been doing Biafran people for years. The kidnap of Mazinam Kanu was the breaking that made everyone now to come to the understanding that one country, international terrorists and international kidnappers who kidnap somebody all the way from Kenya down to Nigeria, and they are still trying the same person in court which they kidnapping crime against. So you should ask yourself the question: if you are kidnap somebody, why are you the same person? Have you ever seen a kidnapper trying somebody in court? Have you ever seen a kidnapper becoming a lawyer? A kidnapper, he kidnapped somebody and he is now a lawyer, adjudicating in his own court. It is not done anywhere. So we're back to the realization and understanding that Nigeria is international terrorist country, and you will not an international kidnapper. You will not even be saying that you stand trial, or you should be tried, or the court should say this or say that. It not be a lawyer. If a kidnapper is a lawyer, it means they are all full of kidnappers. So it is the kidnappers that want response to court ruling. It is not done. Now let us come to the order of the day. Over 29,000 Yorubas have been told to have been kidnapped. Akintoye said 29,000 Yorubas are Boko Haram terrorists. But first and foremost, we need to remind them that Yorubas, which are the Afonjas, that they are brothers and sisters. Because that's the president told them. The Afonja president told them that, and they were very comfortable about it. Yorubas and the Afonjas to be the president of Nigeria. Peter Obi, they would never allow to be. Muslim ticket came out, and then they told the entire must go for Muslim ticket, that you should not go for Peter Obi or any Christian ticket, because it will diminish the dignity of jihad. So anyone now that the dignity of jihad, and that is why all of you are saying what is happening. The news here is that the over 29,000 Afonjas and Yorubas will be massacred and slaughtered by the Fulani terrorists, which they say that their brothers are happening before our very, very eyes. These 29 would have been reported to be massacred or slaughtered in Biafra land. We did not have a Biafran government. If we did not have a Biafra defense, not have a Biafra Liberation Army, if we did not have a prime minister, so because of the existence of the prime minister government, this slaughter of 29,000 in the Yoruba land would have been in Biafra land. This would have been Biafra. Yes, because where they wanted to have a safe haven is in Biafra land resources, and they want to utilize it to be able to import and get everything. So they would have been very comfortable to walk around and to slaughter everybody, acquire more weapons. But the presence of the prime minister, the presence of has come to change the narrative for the terrorists. So today, we are to make the reportage while they will do what? To buy in the hands of the Fulani. You see, when you are using the Yoruba media house to propagate against the Biafran people and help one Nigeria to continue and help one Nigeria to carry the narrative, Biafran people, most slaughter of your babies and women and children by the same Fulani terrorists. Which of you, Yorubas and the Afonjas and the terrorists are one, you will continue to enjoy as you use the Yoruba media houses to uphold the integrity of one Nigeria, them to flourish while downplaying the genocide that is ongoing in Nigeria. Will continue to be counting your death. Why we will be helping to go viral now, because when they kill Biafrans, you people make it. But when we now stand up against the terrorists killing our Biafran women and children, call us terrorists for fighting back. God has the days where you use media propaganda to bring us down. You see this Biafra of today, the Biafran have the power in the media now. We control many things. Yes, we make it why from morning to night you must hear the Biafran cause preach. Nigerian television authorities, you hear the skit makers, you hear the comedian, every news media carrying what? The Biafran cause. If you don't carry Biafran cause as a news, you will not make the feed. You will not make money. You need to understand. If you publish anything without putting Simon Monekpa's name there, Kanu's name there, you will not make money. So if you want people to watch you, you want your broadcast or your programs, make publications that has to do with the Igbo people, the entire 40 state of Biafra. Call their name, photo there, put Nnamdi Kanu, put the Biafra Liberation Army, and when you call them ESN, when you see that they are Biafra Liberation Army, but call them ESN, people will come and watch you and listen to you and know your idiosyncrasy. And by so doing, understand that your stupidity, you need to go and check your grandfathers, because you can Biafra Liberation Army emblem, and then you are addressing the person as if the Afon-Jars can continue to cry, and we will be here to help you to make this news to carry to everywhere. It is not only when you people kill Biafrans and they are killing Biafrans that you use us to do programs in the media. We are going to help you people to make the news now. So while you are here writing Simon Ekpa's name, turning his head upside down in a photo shopping, and then calling all social media Biafra government, this is the Fulani terrorists that you are all brothers together. The Yorubas, they are terrorists. They are brothers. They are governors and their senators and their ministers made this known that the Fulani terrorists and the Yorubas are Afon-Jars, that they are brothers, and nothing will change that. What we are going to do is to make sure we help them to put that so that when it is happening, all of you will know and hear what is going on. Time for you to rejoice. So yes, you have to rejoice when your enemies are going down, because your enemy, when you are going down, so when you see your enemy goes down, rejoice. Time for you to rejoice. Afon-Jars, are you enjoying and your brotherhood and your sisterhood with the Fulani terrorists? How is it going? Fine. Okay, let the enjoyment continue. All right. To make waves in the international community. There is, and the international recognition just had in the time of our general that fought and kept the tide, the prime people is doing it again this time. Diplomatic recognition for Biafra did come, but this 11 months after independence of Biafra was declared during. So on 13th April 1968, Tanzania, under the Julius Nyerere, recognized the sovereignty of Biafra. Was followed by Gabon on 8th May 1968. Ivory Coast followed on 1968, and Zambia on 20th May 1960. Point to note that for these recognitions to have been like Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, political influence made some of these recognitions possible. Mind you, in-house differences when it comes to who we are. Remember, at the time, wanted to be the one to be in charge because he played a role of his political achievement in Africa to make sure some countries of Biafra. In 2024, we are seeing the Prime Minister of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku, doing what our forefathers did. And this time, we are driving the horn to the American Congress. We are driving the horn to the American House, the White House. We are going to the White House. Our first recognition and most internationally to be brought to the table, we are aiming at where? We are aiming at America. We are aiming at the White House. We want the international community to understand that what they understand about peace, tranquility, development, and diplomacy, that we also know about it, and that we are coming to them and bringing it to their table. We want them to know and understand that Biafran people are ready. Everything that the Biafran Prime Minister is doing is to the restoration of Biafra. It is to the integrity of Biafra. It is to the safety of Biafra. It is to the progress of Biafra. It is to the protection of Biafra. It is the inalienable right of Biafrans to be free. And anyone that says we should not be free, let the person come out and stand in our fronts, so that we will tell him what it means for you to stand in the front of hungry people. We are hungry for this freedom. That is why anybody that comes across our way will be crushed. So if you know what we mean, you take it. If you don't, continue to dabble in stupidity.
One of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Very clear and very loud. The ordinances of Theophilus Danjuma made it very clear. If you are depending on the armed forces, you will all die one by one. Someone said in the comment section that my voice is not coming out clear. Let me see if my voice is coming out clear from this side. Maybe that person has to check his or her device. Please go and check your device very well. My voice is coming out very clear. I just checked from a small phone here with me. So, the Biafran government diplomatic engagement to the recognition of the international community is on a high scale, and it is making waves. All we need from every Biafran is the support, financially, diplomatically, mentally, prayerfully, logistically, socially, and otherwise. Give us every support that we need. Money is very, very important. We need money to be able to achieve all this. We need money to do all this. And we need money to fix all this. So we are calling on everyone to bring all that they have, so that we can make the difference that needs to be done. Yes, Friday is here at the corner. and Saturday is here at the corner, and Sunday is here at the corner as well. A lot of events are lined up. We have our regular fundraising on Saturday, and then we have US Town Hall meeting on Sunday, and I think there is a program that should be on tomorrow, being Friday. So we call on all Biafrans to stand fast and be part of every event as the Biafran governments continue to unfold the plans that they have for the Biafran people. The 30 days lockdown is still on. And like we said, after these 30 days lockdown of Nigerian terrorist institutions, we will activate another 60 days. It is aimed at delegitimizing the Nigerian terrorist presence institutions in Biafra land. And after now, you will get to hear the next phase. You will get to hear the next phase. Today is 26, and today should mark the end of this lockdown, of this phase. You will hear the second phase communication from the Prime Minister's office. So every hands should be on deck, and keep your fingers crossed. Continue to stay away from every checkpoint, every Nigerian institutions, the barracks and the civil defense, the police station, and all that you need to know. Now, Shetima was in United Nations Assembly that is ongoing, where countries and nations, representatives, and continents all gathers to speak about the plight of their people, and to speak about the plight of their nations, and to speak about the challenges that they have. Shetima did not, in his speech, report to the United Nations that over 29,000 Yorubas have been slaughtered by Fulani terrorists. Shetima did not tell the United Nations that they have existential terrorists that they have groomed right from when they wanted to overthrow Goodluck Jonathan in 2014 elections. Shetima did not tell the international community that in your one Nigeria, you now buy petrol for 2,650 per liter. Shetima did not tell the international community that in your one Nigeria, that a bag of rice is about 80,000 naira. That one onions is about 150 naira. That one egg is about 500 or 150. That a cup of beans is about 500 naira. That one cannot afford a tuber of yam if you're not rich. They did not tell you or tell them that minimum wage that they pay somebody that goes to work for the entire 30 days, that it is $34. $34! That is money that somebody earns for 1 hour job in America and in Europe and in other parts of the world. But that is what they pay somebody in one Nigeria that is going to work for over 30 days without any grant or compensation of any kind. Do you know what Shetima did? Shetima did not tell the United Nations that there are conflicts in Nigeria. He did not tell the United Nations that there are some part of the country that are fighting for freedom and they want to be free. He did not tell the United Nations that the youth of Nigeria protested for a better government, and then they unleashed the army, the police, the air force, and said they should shoot them to death. And many of them are languishing in detention as we speak. They did not tell the United Nations that they are international kidnappers that kidnap Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They did not tell the United Nations that they released Sunday Igboho from detention, released Sowore, released Wandume, released all the terrorists, and then they recruit them back into the army, the air force, and the navy, and that they are very comfortable with them. They did not tell one Nigeria or tell the United Nations that there is Yoruba nation that are agitating for freedom, that there is Biafra government that has set up a government and is fighting the existing government of one Nigerian terrorist for them to have their supremacy as Biafra. No. Shetima did not in any way say so or give any point of order to the United Nations on all these points. Shetima did not tell the United Nations that all of you are dying and crying in the hands of the terrorists, which they themselves created. What Shetima did was that he advocated for Palestine to be given independence, that they deserve independence. But Biafra, that is in Nigeria, fighting for the same cause of independence, Shetima said Biafra do not deserve to be given independence. But Palestine, in the far Middle East, is where Shetima's plight is laid. You know, we are not surprised of what Shetima said or what he did at the United Nations National Assembly. Because you cannot have a goat and then you expect a goat to come and address the press like a lion. And you can never have a lion, then a lion comes out to address the press as a fowl or as a lizard. No, a lion will always speak as a lion and will address the press as a lion that he is. So the press briefing or the keynote address of Shetima, which is representing the Nigerian terrorist government, is nothing new to us. Do you know why? Because during Buhari's time, Buhari went to the same United Nations and he was addressing the United Nations and putting the plight of the Palestinians on the table. That the Palestinians deserve to be given independence now that they have been given MPs and representatives to have a seat in the United Nations General Assembly, that they deserve to be given independence. But they said to the United Nations, Biafra does not deserve to be given independence and should not be allowed. So that is why we have to fight one Nigeria the hard way to get our independence. We have to fight them the hard way and also use a systematic and strategic diplomatic pattern to bring the Biafra cause to the international community by fire, by force. So we are not surprised. It is still under Buhari's time that while all of you were crying and students were on strike, petrol price hike, and there was inflation in Nigeria, there was no electricity, no good roads, no employment or jobs of any kind. That was when Buhari donated over $200 billion of Naira money to the pilgrimage in Turkey so that they can use it to harness the Fulani terrorist war.
The more they attack me, the stronger I become. Because it is like you are pouring fuel in the strength that is in me. So bring it on. But I'm telling you today that we have been able to defeat them. We have Chikota Hanchani Nono and defeated them. What we have done to Nigeria and their agent in Biafra struggle is that we gathered them together. This particular sit at home, I told you people, will be the beginning of the liberation of Biafra. You see, the actions, the activities of Biafrans in this sit at home have gathered all the sabos together, all the sabotua together, and we defeated them. Bam! It is mysterious. How many of you will ever believe in this life that everybody will gang up against Biafra?
Yorubas must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
You will all die one by one if you're still waiting for one Nigeria to be your savior. So, Shetima's speech in the United Nations calling for Palestinians to be given independence, why they should not give you Biafra independence, is not a new thing. What we want Biafran people to understand is that you have to fight for Biafra before you can have Biafra. You don't have to sit down to wait for the terrorists to come and give you Biafra, because they can never give you. You see, some idiot like this that we have here on the comment section. You see, you call yourself Mazi Ikechukwu, and then you wear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's profile, and then you put a Nigerian flag behind it. And when I said Shetima advocate for Palestine to be given independence and they should not give Biafra, you are happy. And you say, God should punish me. And you say that you are a criminal and a fool and a fraudster. Yet you are wearing the profile photo of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and you're putting it on green, white, green. And then you're answering Ikechukwu. Then you come and put Eze to yourself. Go and ask your father, what is the meaning of Ikechukwu? And ask your father also, what is the meaning of Eze? Then when you're done, ask your friends, what is my significance in life? They will tell you that you are an idiot. Your friends will tell you that you are an idiot. Because an idiot is someone that does not care about the over 29,000 people that the Yoruba agitators say they have slaughtered. An idiot is someone that does not care that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is kidnapped by terrorists and locked up in Nigeria, and then an idiot will not care. That idiot will only bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's photo and wear as his profile photo, and then call his or herself Ikechukwu Eze, and then come out and be writing nonsense on the comment section when you see us speak. An idiot is someone that is claiming to be comfortable in Europe or America or UK, and then doesn't give a damn about those that are slaughtered in Nigeria. An idiot is someone that only cares about his or her stomach. An idiot is someone that does not care about any other person, that loves to make merry with everything he sees. Just like I'm talking something important now, and you're turning it into a joke that you enjoy, you take it to be a show. So you are an idiot. Because if you are a Biafran, the community where you come from, you should ask questions to know how did you come to be and what the terrorists want Nigeria had done to your people before now. Listen to Shetima that you love, because you love Shetima more than Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you love the Islamic jihadist terrorists more than Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, yet you wear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's photo. Why didn't you wear Shetima's photo since you love him so much? Idiots.
Today, we are all witnesses to the heart-wrenching situation in Gaza and other Palestinian territories. We cannot discuss war and peace, conflicts and resolution, or humanitarian imperatives today without reflecting on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been raging since 7th August last year. Of course, the conflict predates this period and has been simmering for a better part of half a century. What it tells us is that the international community has failed to live up to the spirit and aspirations of the United Nations to rid the world of inequality, violence, and domination of one people by another. Justice is antithetical to revenge. Freedom is an inalienable right and a natural entitlement that cannot be denied to any people. The Palestinian people deserve their independence. They deserve to have a home of their own in territories already recognized by this very assembly and by international law, which is being routinely ignored. Nigeria continues to urge efforts to bring back on track the two-state solution that offers the prospect for a new beginning for the region. Nigeria reaffirms to supporting United Nations peacekeeping operations. We recognize the need for Africa to build strong and professional armies to meet the multiple challenges we face. Consequently, we reiterate the call for international support to operationalize the African standby post, in addition to the provision of requisite support and resources to ensure the upgrade, take-up, and effectiveness.
So now the question should be, is it in Palestine that over 29,000 Yoruba people were slaughtered? What should have been the primary objective or concern of your president of Nigeria, for those of you that are from Nigeria? You see, the reason why the Prime Minister of the Biafran government seeks fundamental support and awareness and recognition from the United States government to support the Biafran independence is to make sure that this kind of people here do not come to speak again in public, and to make sure that when people are speaking, they speak for life and not for death. What this man is speaking now is speaking death. Because you just saw that over 29,000 Yorubas have been slaughtered by Fulani terrorists from the report this man is giving here. And then the president of this country, which they claim they are in this country, went to the United Nations and is telling the United Nations that the only way they have problem is in Palestine. That the international community has overlooked what is happening in Palestine. Nothing that is happening in Nigeria is a point of concern. Nothing that is happening in Nigeria should be considered. Whether there are life lost or not lost, or lives affected, or people standing up to speak for their freedom, that is not important. The only important thing to these people called Nigerian government is where they have their fellow terrorists that are breeding. He made mention of October 7, 2023. Was it the people of Palestinians that were slaughtered on the early hours of October 7, 2023? No. It was the people of Palestine that went into Gaza, that went into Israel to go and slaughter the Israelis. It was the Palestinians who have moved into Gaza, who are ravaging everywhere, that went into Israel to slaughter the children the babies, the women of Israel. In the wee hours of the morning of a Sabbath, when they were going to Sabbath, and when some of them were having their party over the night of Friday, entering the Saturday. Are you getting the point? But here you see a terrorist government of Nigeria going to the United Nations Assembly, telling the United Nations Assembly that the Palestinians have been hampered since October 7, 2023. Why can't they open their mouth and say, the Palestinian terrorists, they invaded Israel, they killed Israel women and children, they slaughtered them, they cut their heads off and their hands, they raped them, the same way that they are doing in Nigeria. The people that they say they have slaughtered here and killed in Yoruba land, that is over 29,000, they are no Fulanis, they are Christians. So the targeted persecution, the extermination and desolation of lives in Nigeria is the Christians. That is why a proud terrorist will come out as a vice president of Nigeria, and they sent him to the United Nations to go and speak and to still support the terrorists that are standing shoulder to shoulder to kill every Christian in the entire world. Did you hear him speak for your freedom in Nigeria? Did you hear him seek support for your freedom in Nigeria? There is another video where I saw, in that very short one, what he was advocating for from the United Nations was that they should forgive them of their debt, that they are owing so much debt in the international community. The United Nations should intervene to see that their debts are forgiven so that they can go and borrow more. You see? All the ones that they borrowed before, none of this money was allotted to the Biafra land part of one Nigeria. No, all the money was ceded to the northern and the Yoruba side, where they tell you that the Yorubas and the Fulanis, that they are brothers and sisters. All the money that they borrow from international community. You don't see it in the student loan or whatever, or grant or development scheme, shared in parentheses to the people of Biafra. No, it is all to the people of the North and the Yoruba Afonjas. And today they are begging for another money. What a disgrace. So, what you see Femi Fani Kayode doing in Nigeria when he sits down and is advocating for Palestinians to be given independence and for the Israelis to be totally condemned, is exactly what you saw your Shetima, Vice President of Nigeria, going to do in the United Nations. And it is not a new thing to us, because if President Buhari, the impostor in Asura, was there in that same place, and he did the same thing, all of them that are going there are only asking for the plight of the Palestinian terrorists, not asking for the plight of the Israelis, not asking for the plight of the Christians. There is a video where the governor of Zamfara is telling you that the plight of every Muslim man is to see that Nigeria is totally Islamized and turned into Islamic country, so that everybody will become what they want. And when you don't want to become what they want, what will happen? They will cut off your hand. They will cut off your head. They will slaughter you. And you will now do what? Remain hampered with no hands and no legs. These are the plans of the people that you guys are calling leaders. These are the plans of the people that you guys are calling governors. These are the plans of the people that you guys want to be ruling you. Yes, they continue to rule you until they cut off your hands and your heads off. Because there is no how you can say that you want to live with this kind of people in a country to have the same ideology. No, it is not done. We thank God that we have a prime minister who has understood the fears that is embedded in one Nigeria and then made Biafra to be a Biafra that we must all lean onto. I salute all of you and I implore you to remain steadfast and strong. The Biafran government is here to make sure that what needs to be done is done for Biafra to be restored. We need your support in all angles. We need your support financially and otherwise. We need your support in every way you know you can bring it up. Bring in your input. Our hands are wide open for those that have something to offer and to bring to the table. We call on all of you to remember to visit the website and to make your donations, because this is the bedrock of this very freedom. From me, from here, it is good evening to you all. Dewo Umuchineke.
We are Biafrans. We can never, never be Nigerians. Ever Biafran, never Nigerian. Oh Biafra, our homeland. Oh Biafra, our homeland. We are Biafrans. We can never, never be Nigerians. Ever Biafran, never Nigerian. Oh Biafra, our homeland. Oh Biafra, our homeland. We are Biafrans. We can never, never be Nigerians. Ever Biafran, never Nigerian. Oh Biafra, our homeland. Oh Biafra, our homeland. We are Biafrans. We can never, never be Nigerians. Ever Biafran, never Nigerian. Oh Biafra, our homeland. Oh Biafra, our homeland. We are Biafrans. We can never, never be Nigerians. Ever Biafran, never